Hello students, today we'll see the next topic in the diamorphine and heroin section. In the previous lecture we have discussed about identification of the heroin by using gas chromatography, by using GCMS, and sometimes we have used in the GCFID as a detector in the analysis. The next we have discussed about the quantification of the heroin by using GC. Today we'll see the next topic, that is the quantification of heroin by HPLC, and finally the comparison of the heroin samples. So let us see one by one. So the first one, the quantification of the heroin sample. So the quantifying opiates, quantification of the heroin by HPLC. When quantifying opiates by HPLC, a number of basic principles should first be considered before the quantification process is undertaken. Baseline resolution of the compounds must be achieved in the chromatographic analysis so that peak height or peak area can be assigned to one compound alone. So in addition, it is important that calibration curves in the HPLC are produced from the same batch of solvent in which sample is to be analyzed. So that we have used the same solvent sequence for the sample as well as the standard. So this is the particularly important because small differences in the pH can lead to the different extinction coefficient when measuring the UV absorptions, thus leading to the inaccuracies in the quantification process. When preparing the calibration curve, a wide enough range of concentration should be chosen in order to ensure that the sample concentration will fall in the linear range of such kind of curve. So this is especially true for the heroin, where a wide range of the drug concentration might be encountered in the street, street samples. So furthermore, when preparing the calibration curve, if the 2-point or regression methods are employed, the solution should be injected starting with the lowest concentration, then increasing to the highest. So this will reduce the risk of column priming. Between each solution, an injection of the solvent alone should be made. So what happens whenever we have first injected the sample at the highest concentration, the somewhat content will remain in the flow, and that's why there is a possibility of column priming, and that's why we have to increase the concentration sequentially. So this ensures that the chromatographic system is clear of any contamination which may give rise to the inaccurate results. So the following set of conditions have been shown to be efficient in the HPLC quantification of the HERA. So first column, generally the silica gel column having 12.5 centimeter length and 4.6 mm of ID. Eluent generally used as isooctane, diethyl ether methanol, water and diethylamine in the proportion of 40 as to 325 as to 225 as to 15 as to 0.65 by volume. Flow rate, it is about 2 ml per minute, and detection is at appeared UV at 30 nanometer. Then a drug sample found to contain diamorphine has been quantified by HPLC. So the calibration data will be shown in the next slide, that is shown in the table 1. So the sample known to contain diamorphine gave peak areas of uh, 1,15,604 and 1,15,998 arbitrary units for the two replicate samples. So in this case, we wish to calculate the percentage of the diamorphine in the sample which dissolved at a concentration of 2.5 mg per ml. Look at this, is the figure 1, which shows the HPLC separation of the various opiates present in the given sample. So the first, it is the noscapine. Second, it is the papaverine. Third one, it is the acetylcholine. Fourth one, it is the diamorphine. Fifth one, it is the 6-monoacetylmorphine. And then seventh one, it is the codeine, and sixth one, it is the codeine, and seventh one, it is the morphine. So this is about the chromatographic HPLC chromatographic separation of the opiates. Then this is the calibration data obtained by the HPLC analysis used for the quantification of the heroin sample. Here we have get a We have taken a replicate measurement, and accordingly we can get a different kind of equilibrium in arbitrary units. There is somewhat differences in the such values. Then this problem is solved as follows. In order to confirm the validity of the calibration data for the quantification, a graph of response, that is the peak height against the drug concentration, is plotted in the figure. If the data lie on the straight line, then they can be used as a quantification. So this is the particular calibration data used for the determination of diamorphine. Here we have put the values of the peak height against the concentration of the diamorphine, and then we can get a straight line graph, or we can say the points they are lie on the straight line, and hence we can have a use this data for the required regression equation is obtained by solving the following simultaneous equation, as we have performed in the GC quantification. The same kind of equation is here also used, that is the regression equation. When these values are substituted into the above equations and the latter solved, we can get a regression equation y is equals to 165,830x plus 8992. So in order to calculate the amount of diamorphine in the sample, the data values are averaged, that is 115801, and then substituted into the regression equation, and this yields a concentration of 0.64 mg per ml. However, the latter needs to be expressed as a percentage of the original concentration, that is 2.5 mg per ml, and this gives the final value of 25.8% of the diamorphine in the sample. In some cases, the calibration data are provided with the diamorphine in salt form, usually the hydrochloride. Generally, the diamorphine is existed as a diamorphine hydrochloride. So, under such circumstances, it is better to calculate the amount of this present in the sample, since it will not be known which particular salt from the diamorphine will exist as a sample being quantified. So, this is the particular calibration data. Then next one is the comparison of the heroin sample. So it is sometimes necessary for the drug chemist to make the comparison of the heroin samples, while TLC, HPLC, and GC, such as GCMS, can be employed for the purpose. So there are advantages and disadvantages to each of these techniques. So this is the calibration table number 2, showing the calibration and calculated data used for the determination of diamorphine in the heroin sample. So accordingly, 0.10 mg per ml, 0.25 mg per ml, 0.5 mg per ml, 0.1 mg per ml, 1.5 mg per ml, 2.2 mg per ml. So these are the some concentrations of the drug are there, and accordingly they have get some kind of area. And by using linear regression equation, we can calculate the amount of the unknown in the given sample. So in such an investigation, the samples are treated and analyzed in exactly the same way as that used for the identification of the material. If the resulting chromatograph, that is, let us see in the figure next slide, figure 3, and the mass spectra cannot be differentiated, uh, then a match is called between the samples, and as shown from this figure, the data obtained can be used in the number of different ways. As a single label, two samples of the heroin may be compared, as shown in the figure 2, for the heroin bags 1 and 2. Alternatively, the profile of the heroin being examined may indicate geographic origins and relationship to other batches which have been seized. Full discussion of such comparison is beyond the scope of this present book, but the interested reader is directly towards recent studies in the area. So look at this is the particular figure number 3, which will indicate the total ion chromatogram of the two different heroin samples. So the first one is having heroin bag 1 sample, and second one is having heroin bag 2. The identical forms of the two traces allow the analyst to say that it is matches between the two samples. So look at this is the particular retention time. Okay, retention time around 500 here is this. the 1200 seconds also near this is one of the red values occurred, and along with 900 there is a two different are occurred, and hence we can say that these values are matches with respect to each other, and hence we can have the comparison, or we can say there is a confirmation of the heroin samples in the uh, heroin present in the given samples. Okay, so this is all about the chapter. This is all about the diamorphine and heroin. In the next lecture, we have see about the cannabis and